your kids at the mercies of this house of the whole day.
Yeah.
You come back home, you expect this woman has cooked.
She's been hooking up with Bona Boss, and he told her, listen, don't worry, I'm eventually going to marry. Imagine having to parent children that are not yours.
And you're not being paid right. You cannot wear a tight skirt when my husband is around, but I think that one is okay.
That one she can't wear, sorry. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. It's the Mother from Mamas. Listen, I hope you're following us on IG, Facebook, Twitter. If you see us in person, follow us at the mall, at the market, wherever we are. Just stay one of our people, okay? We love you. We love the love we're receiving from you. So today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a somber topic, and this is about Naliaka the Nanny. If you're on any type of social media, I know you've seen her. Sarah, maybe you could explain to us a little bit about that video and what's in it.
Right. So this is a nanny who was beating the crap out of the little baby. Probably the kid was about 3-4 years old.
Yeah.
And he was whipping the baby on the ground. The baby was lying on the ground. But the kid is screaming. She is continuing to hit the baby, stepping on the kid on the face, first of all. Okay. She was stepping on the kid on the face, her whole weight. This is a woman who is probably in her 20s.
Yeah.
You're stepping on the little baby's face. This is torture. This is beyond torture.
Yeah. It's torture for the baby. It's a lot of pain, but it's also psychological torture, because if she's their nanny, then they have a level of trust with her. So now you've not only messed up the baby's body, you're messing up the baby's psyche. And I know every time she kept lifting and throwing him on the ground, I kept thinking his organs, his lungs, his whatever, like his ribs, like poor child. And eventually she was arrested.
Right. Go ahead. Yeah, I wanted to say that.
She was arrested running, fleeing, I guess, back to Luya. Lanaki wa Luya to time happy. But she was she was arrested running back, and the picture of how she was arrested, she looked very blah, which for me made me wonder if the first case of it, is it a mental health issue? Does she have mental health issues? Because how do you inflict so much pain?
There is no way any human being in their right mind would do that.
Yeah.
There is no way. So she had she was not herself when she was doing this. It's like she didn't have any feelings, because any person and especially a child, we all have those, even here in America where there's so much division, when it comes to kids, everybody comes together.
Yeah. Children is universal. I don't care how mad you are when you watch a child reacting. I think it's one of those things that tugs at your heartstrings, whether or not you have kids. I mean, as long as you've had siblings or you've been around cousins, it's something that tugs at your heartstrings.
But V, was this a person, a nanny who didn't have any other options? Was the only way she would express her anger and revenge and all this? I'm gonna hurt one of your own.
That's a thought I had, because I mean, if she's a nanny, most of the time they're powerless against their madams and the guys in the house, right? You give me my salary, or you promise me 7K and you pay me 3K instead, and you just keep telling me and you don't, okay? Or I needed to go home, maybe I had a family member who was sick and you're not letting me go, okay? I mean, she doesn't have the power to do anything or say anything to the lady, because a lot of times I'm doing police. And who do they listen to? They listen to the madam before they made. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are, right? We've talked about this before, guys. You need to check out our house help video. That was really good. But there's things that these house helps go through, and we don't know the circumstance. We're just speculating, okay? But
no, we are speculating. We are speculating, V, but we have also been in that kind of a system, even where your children and the parents are going to eat a special kind of food, and the maid, the house help, is left to eat leftovers and all those things. And you're leaving this house help, and you're leaving your kids at the mercies of this house help the whole day.
Yeah.
You come back home, you expect this woman has cooked, has cleaned, has done has to do homework for them.
Yeah. And they wake up before everybody. They make sure everything is taken care of. They take care of you and your man and your kids, okay? And then you're denying them food, or you're denying them their salary, or you're denying them a day off, or you're beating them as if they were your child. Where do you think that anger goes? They cannot express it anywhere else. They really cannot. I think I was reading also that she had left, or she had been fired, or whatever the case, and she came back later and stabbed those kids. When I was showing my husband this story, the first thing he asked me is, where was the mom this time? Who was with the kids? That was my biggest question. I mean, sis, I'm not judging, but I'm just curious, especially if the beatings came. Let's say maybe they had seen the beatings and they fired her. How were they open to the stabbing? I'm confused. Like, sis, call us to Tuambie. I mean, I'm glad the children survived, but that was like, if I saw that happen to my kids, I'd probably quit my job and just stay home now.
That's what I wanted to say. Isn't at that point you say, forget about everything else I'm doing. I'm not going to leave my kids with anybody else because already the trust has been broken.
Never. Yep. Makes you wonder. I mean, I don't know, sis.
Makes you wonder.
Much, but I mean, stepmom, I don't know, but that was really weird to me.
Sometimes we have those where the house helps mzee wa nyumbani pretends that he's going to work, and then after everybody leaves, comes back home.
And that's another thing. What kind of rage is she carrying? She's been hooking up with Bwana Boss, and he told her, listen, don't worry, I'm eventually going to marry you, scenario one. Or she's been hooking up with Bwana Boss, she got pregnant, she was told there's no way you're having a kid in this house, you need to bounce. And now she's looking at your kids like, how come you get to keep your kid and me, I'm not able to keep mine? It was too deep. She was too deeply involved in hurting these children. And as a society, we are so quick to judge. Again, horrible what she did. But is this somebody who has the mental capacity to understand what they do, what they pushed? I mean, watching Law and Order and everything. So crimes of emotion. Was she pushed so hard that she's no longer functioning correctly and is now taking it out in the wrong way?
And that's, when we talk about mental illness or mental health, you're not talking about these deep or serious conditions.
Yeah.
But I watched Meghan Markle, and she was, she has everything. And she says sometimes you feel suicidal thoughts, right? Yeah. I've been pushed to a corner. There's nobody I can talk to. There's nowhere else to go to. I'm not going to go back to the village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And sometimes the village, they're all waiting for you to send money so they could Choi Meanguka. Y'all know that story. But for real, most of the time, these households, the whole family depends on them. Yes. So she doesn't have a mean, she doesn't have anywhere to go, she doesn't have anything to do. I mean, the only other thing, well, not only other thing, but another thing I thought about is, I mean, unless she's an abused person, as in maybe she's going through that growing up, and for her, that is normal, a normal reaction to children doing something wrong. Listen, don't knock it. People have been through crazier stuff, right? People have been through crazier stuff. So I don't know.
And even as when, growing up, would be pinched, would be hit here and there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a standard back home. This is a standard back home. Even here, our Black people, that's how we do things, right? But that was too much.
I feel and maybe this is why I insert this. Just as a mom, I have learned that very quickly that it's hard work. I don't care who you are. I don't care how intelligent you think you are. Parenting is a whole other degree you need to acquire. Okay. And as we say that as moms, can you imagine having to parent children that are not yours? Okay. And then having to go through all these other things if you are going through them.
Having to parent the kids that are not yours and you're not being paid right.
It's hard. You're not being talked to properly. Okay, or you can't sit at the table and eat your meal. And I'm not saying you have to eat together, all of you, but
first of all, they do not. They don't watch TV. They don't sit on the dining table. Ukitaka kukula, enda kwa bedroom benye watoto ukulie huko kwa.
But it's so weird because I used to see some of when I was growing up, actually the maid can't watch TV. Like during the day, they're in school and the parents at work and then the TV's off. I'm like, sis, atakama still money expensive. Come on now. Let's be reasonable. These are still human beings. They deserve to have a life. And again, if you're going to leave your most precious cargo with these people, can you give them the kind of feeling that they would love to pass on to your kids? I mean, I feel so bad for her. And by the way, in case you're wondering about parenting, we have a video on Parenting 101 in Diaspora. Make sure you click on it and watch it. But guys, I'm really interested in your comments about what you think happened with Naliaka, where you was pushed.
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes.
Is anybody a neighbor? Do you live there? Are you the person who was recording? It will tell us what was going on. Because maybe they thought they were helping because they put it on Facebook. So if they thought they were helping, like you said, is it something that was going on all the time? Really curious to know. So Sarah, what if you have a nanny watching at this point and feeling like she's at that pushed to the edge and things are feeling really, really bad and desperate for her? Would you have any type of advice?
Yes. Please don't take it out on the children. The children are very innocent. If you feel like you're in that kind of a situation, just leave. There's always another opportunity. Yeah. My goodness, the kids are innocent.
And for moms like me,
yeah.
And for moms like me who are super scared, because since I've watched that, I'm just hugging my baby like this. What would you? Do you have any advice for us? I'm so scared.
I feel like we gotta have to be vigilant. We just have to be vigilant. We just have to create trust and treat this household just like a human being. All right, because if they feel respected, if they feel loved, if they feel there's a trust, they're not gonna do anything. In fact, they'll go an extra mile to protect the kids. But when you start telling them, "Wenda ukakulia nje, wenda sijui ufanye nini," you cannot watch TV, you cannot do this thing.
Sugar.
You cannot wear a tight skirt when my husband is but I think that one is okay.
That one she can't wear, sorry. No. Either way, some of the best friends I had growing up were our maids. They're closer to our age. There's some that we live with very many years. I have a maid I grew up with. Her name is Rita. Hey, Rita, we still talk. And that was for a long time because, again, it's a human being. It's a person. They're in a stage in their life. And empower these women, because I think if you're empowering somebody or if you're giving them positive energy and positive attributes, then they have more, they feel more entitled to treating you and your family and everybody better.
Just like your mom. Just like your mom, who you would do, she would give them your side skills. Okay, where? And Fanya tailoring here. Fanya tailoring here, because you're not going to be taking care of my kids forever. I want you to have your side skills so that tukiachana, you have something going on.
Yeah,
that's one of the ways.
Child, because again, this could be us. I'm telling you, people laugh about it, but you could be, God forbid, in an accident tomorrow and you're both gone. You don't know how your kids would have to survive. Can you imagine if your child is not in somebody else's home trying to make ends meet? Okay, and that's how somebody's treating them. I mean, just again, we're all humans. Always remember the humanity part of life.
Right.
And, take life easy. Take it with prayer, and so say them more Afro mamas. Okay, Naliaka, call us now. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time with the More Afro Mamas. Bye.